Hello, my name is Jonathan Gamba, and today I'm going to be presenting about listening and responding in the workplace environment. So my first slide is about why hearing and listening are complete opposites. Hearing is basically when its physical properties is when vibrations or sound vibrations come and they go to your brain, and that's pretty much it. And listening is when you are an active listener, you are receiving the information from the speaker, and that way you give a response. And that is why listening and hearing are complete opposites. Now I want to talk about the two types of listening. We have the active listener and we have the passive listener. So the passive listener is the person who is on and about, and they are in their own world basically. When a speaker tries to speak with them, the sound vibrations goes to their brain, and that's pretty much it. Nothing else. They're just hearing you. They're not listening to you. And a great example of this could be when you're watching a movie. You see the actor speaking, but you don't process that information in your brain. And now I want to talk about the active listener. So when you're active listening, you're speaking to the speaker, and you're listening, and you're responding. It could be through emotion, it could be through tone, it could be through body language, and that way an active listener is showing that he is volunteering in your speaking and giving feedback. And also active listening is a soft skill that is needed in the workplace. Very good, very important. Now I want to talk about how to apply listening in meetings. So before you go into a meeting, it's good to be have prior knowledge to the topic, and that way when you're at the meeting and the speaker is speaking, it's better for you to relate to the topic and give better feedback. And one great example could be with a couple years ago, FIFA. They wanted to see how they could better referee their professional soccer games. So what they did is they sent the board members to different places, to different leagues, basketball leagues, football leagues, etc. And they got information how those leagues have better refereeing, and so on and so on. And when they all got together for the meeting, everybody pitched their ideas, everybody gave their cons to their ideas and the bad side of their ideas, and at the end they came up with a VAR system, which stands for virtual active referee. So basically, when a referee has his back turned on a couple players, and those players do something, they hate each other, VAR captures everything through video, and the referee could go back, rewatch the video, and there he could give his decision to give a foul, red card, a yellow card, and so on and so on. And that's a great example of how we could apply listening into our meetings. Now I want to talk about how we could provide feedback. So as I said, giving feedback is very good. We give feedback through our body language, emotion, or tone. And tone is very important because you don't want bad tone, you want good tone. Good feedback, non-negative feedback. When you give positive feedback, the speaker is more at ease, he opens up more, and whenever you have a question, his feedback to you is much more easier and much more better explained. But when you give bad feedback, let's say a bad tone, you get angry, or you use a tone of like being annoyed or tired or don't want to be there, that gives speaker it puts him in a defensive mode. And it also brings up communication barriers that we do not want. Communication barriers is bad. That's no. We want good communication because it's a meeting. We want to communicate. We want to give feedback. We want to be active listeners, and so on and so on. So that is very important. And now we can apply all these at work. Remember that hearing and listening, not the same. Hearing is basically, for me, it will be you don't care. Listening is when you're an active listener, and that is good. And also, when you're asking questions, be sure you listen carefully, because sometimes when the speaker gives you feedback of your question, you get a little bit confused. It could be a long answer or it could be a short answer, but their body language may be difficult to read. So be sure you're an active listener in that part, and always provide positive feedback. By positive feedback, use a good tone of voice, and don't use a bad tone of voice because that's a big no-no. And these are my sources, and that's my blank page. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. I hope you have a nice day. Bye.